with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW West Texas.
The chemo, it always makes me extremely weak, and it's never fun. It's always hard. It feels very heartwarming, and I'm so happy that they are doing this for me, and I just want to thank them so much.
Grayson Pickett is 10 years old and fighting leukemia, and while the disease is only attacking him, he is not alone in this fight. In just a few minutes, how the community is coming together to help him and his family. Good evening, and thanks for joining us here for CBS 7 News at 9 on the CW. And thanks to those of you who are joining us live on our CBS 7 YouTube page. I'm Jay Hendricks. This morning, the county clerk's office in Ector County experienced a substantial flood, which led to an immediate shutdown of the Ector County Courthouse. CBS 7's Isabella Garriga joins us now with more details on the damage. Isabella?
The flood affected not only the clerk's office, but also the women's restroom on the first floor and leaked down to the basement, which houses the majority of the courthouse archived documents. This disruption has pushed back all scheduled cases, causing a major inconvenience for those involved. Members of the courthouse staff quickly rushed to cover what they could with plastic tarps to protect important documents from water damage. Despite these efforts, the courthouse had to be closed to address the flooding and related issues.
Things that have been neglected for far too long. I mean, security is one major issue that we've neglected for far too long. The elevators we've neglected. The pipe system is unbelievable in terms of how poor of a system this is. And that's just unacceptable for a public building.
Today's event also brings attention to the upcoming vote on the new Ector County Courthouse, which is set to be on the ballot in November 2025.
We have a number of other issues here with this facility. It simply outlived its lifetime and its lifespan. And so we need to plan as a community for investing in a new facility in the future.
To mitigate the damage, the water supply was turned off and networks were shut down, as the servers are also located in the basement. All is expected to be back to normal by tomorrow morning.
Once we get the water extracted and we get it kind of dried out, then that should be by 8 o'clock in the morning so we can actually open the doors and have all the staffing and everything back in and all the offices open. And court should proceed as scheduled.
Members at the Ector County Courthouse plan on hiring a design and build team later this month.
And especially here in this community, we know the time is very valuable for folks. And so if we can find a more efficient way of providing government services, that's what we're going to be doing with this new courthouse.
The estimated cost for a new courthouse design ranges between $150 to $400 million per square foot. The courthouse is expected to reopen tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Reporting for CBS 7 First Alert News, I'm Isabella Garriga.
Yesterday, the town of Sanderson was hit by a tornado. In fact, we have a look at some of the aftermath of that storm. The National Weather Service says the tornado touched down around 7:15 and injured at least 10 people, with 2 in serious condition. DPS troopers reported that crews were working overnight to try and restore electricity to the town. And at this time, all roads were cleared and help has come from the community. In fact, various parts and other counties have been there to help. In a statement on the help they've gotten, Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland said, quote, West Texas has risen to the occasion. Before any type of request was made, Sheriffs Dodson and Perkins from Brewster and Pecos County helped out. To see his full statement, you can go to our website at cbs7.com. Time now to take a look at our weather. We didn't have any storms today, but we sure had lots of heat. It looks like more is on the way. Chief Meteorologist Tom Teeverteller joins us now. Tom?
And that's what we're going to be dealing with here over the next few days is triple-digit heat. Got a good jump start today. Usually we're about 94 this time there on the afternoon highs, 100 plus in many locations, all the way up to around 113 down at Rio Grande Village a little bit earlier today, but in the Permian Basin, I should say, 106 in and around the Wink area. Looking back towards the Trans-Pecos, a beautiful evening from our live iCam in Fort Stockton. Looking down towards the Sanderson area where temperatures are still hot, around 90 degrees. So we're still trying to cool off a little bit. Still hanging on to 110 at this time around Rio Grande Village. And humidity levels trying to improve a little bit. That dry line kind of curving back in towards the lower Trans-Pecos, but nothing developing in the way of storms as those winds, again, are starting to come around a little bit to the southeast. But that dry line is going to stay east overnight tonight and towards tomorrow. Not too gusty on the wind. So we're going to see temperatures stay a little on the mild side overnight tonight And you guessed it, tomorrow, more triple-digit heat.
As the calendar flips from May to June, we recognize May as Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. According to the CDC, in 2020, women were diagnosed with depression twice as much as men, but men died by suicide at a 4 times higher rate. From 2000 to 2021, the suicide rate among men increased by 29%. Male deaths represent 79% of suicides, amounting to roughly 105 men who die by suicide every day. Christy Edwards, the CEO of Centers for Families and Children, broke down why those numbers are so different. She says women are more likely to attempt overdose while men tend to use a firearm.
Men sometimes are more impulsive. So women sometimes will think about things or phone a friend to talk about. Men are just like that, this is the most embarrassed I've ever been, or my heart is broken. And sometimes alcohol is a factor for men. Sometimes when they drink too much and those inhibitions are down, and then they have that impulse, they will use a firearm.
If you or someone you love is dealing with mental health issues, it's best to reach out to someone close or a doctor to have them speak with them. Back in January, 11-year-old Grayson Pickett was diagnosed with leukemia. Now he's taking on the biggest fight of his life, but he's not alone. Now, after finishing his second round of chemotherapy, a local nonprofit is hosting a cornhole tournament this weekend to help with his expenses. For the past 5 months, Grayson has been traveling back and forth to Lubbock for different treatments. On top of the cost for traveling, hotels, and procedures, the emotional and mental aspects of the diagnosis have been intense for everyone in his family.
As parents, we're supposed to protect our children. We're supposed to fix whatever we can for them, and this is something that is completely out of your control. You can't change it. You can't fix it. In a lot of ways, you're just along for the ride, and that's been the most difficult part.
Doctors say Grayson will recover, but it will take about 2 years for him to get back to his normal life of diving into a pool or exploring nature with the Boy Scouts. That's why Agents in Action has decided to help raise money for he and his family by holding that cornhole tournament and auction.
We're going to obviously have food and we're going to have drinks, lots of activities for the kids. And it's an opportunity for our community to come together and to surround the Pickett family and to help them through this devastating time.
And if you're not that great at cornhole, there are other ways you can help the Pickett family. To register and find out more information on how you can help them out, just visit our website, CBS7.com. The start of the 2024-25 school year will see some new faces in leadership in the Midland Independent School District. Behind me, you're seeing the faces of the 4 principals joining MISD for the 2024-25 school year. They will be at Midland High, Midland Freshman, San Jacinto Middle School, and Bush Elementary. The school board voted to hire each principal today. 2 are from within the district. 2 will be coming from outside MISD. The school district says they are confident they will all bring the right skills to their respective campuses.
These leaders have very strong communication skills. They are great at building culture within their schools that they currently lead. They also are wonderful at building systems and processes to help keep those schools moving forward and ultimately improving student outcomes.
MISD will hold a meet and greet for parents and students to meet their new principal. That information will be provided to each campus at a later date. Across Texas, one high school senior is writing the playbook for his future. He's college bound on a full academic and athletic scholarship, but what makes his story unique is the adversity that he overcame to get there. Nicole Nielsen has his story of homelessness to hope.
Growing up, Zaylin Washington will tell you the odds were never in his favor. Early life was filled with a series of upheavals between parents in and out of jail and a brief stint in foster care.
So at the time, I didn't know it was broken. I kind of just thought I really felt like I was the issue because I kept going from different places and stuff.
For years at school, no one knew what he was going through.
People would make fun of me because my clothes were ripped or too big.
It wasn't until 7th grade, and when he joined the football team, he began to find a family he'd never known.
I felt a lot of pressure leave on my shoulders and stuff. I finally found a home and someone who wants me.
When he got to Nimitz High School in Irving, his living situation worsened. So much so, he found himself homeless his sophomore year. It wasn't until his youth group pastor offered him somewhere to live that he saw things start to turn around.
It was the first time someone choosing me, like not having it forced on them.
In a more stable home, he's taken the last several years to focus solely on academics and sports, both of which earned him a full-ride scholarship to Feather River College in California.
I want to be more successful than anyone in my whole family. Like, I want to be the first person to complete high school, go to college, and actually have like hopefully, a six-figure paying job. I have to prove them wrong, really, that's what it is.
When committing on signing day, he says it was the moment that everything made sense. He looks back on the lessons he's learned and the progress he's made, with pride, knowing he's now in control of his future, one he knows will be bright.
Still ahead another week, another trial connected to a presidential candidate. Hunter Biden faces federal gun charges starting today in Delaware. We'll tell you the latest up next. A historic legal battle is about to begin in Washington, D.C. Hunter Biden's trial now has a jury in place. The president's son is facing 3 felony gun charges. CNN's Paula Reed reports on the case and the first family's reaction as that trial gets underway.
Hunter Biden entering federal court in Wilmington, Delaware today, the first child of a sitting president to face criminal prosecution. The jury now seated in his trial on multiple gun charges. First Lady Jill Biden, Hunter's stepmother, attended court Monday in the latest show of support from his family.
I love Hunter and I'll support him in any way I can.
Even in the middle of a close presidential race, President Biden has been unwavering in his support for his only living son.
I'm very proud of my son.
The two seen at a state dinner last month, at church together last week, and riding bicycles in Rehoboth Beach over the weekend. In a statement today, he said, "I am the president, but I am also a dad. Jill and I love our son, and we are so proud of the man he is today." Hunter has been charged in part with lying on this ATF form when he purchased a firearm. Prosecutors allege he failed to reveal he was a drug addict and using at the time. Hunter has entered a plea of not guilty, although he has been open about his struggles with addiction.
I went one time for 13 days without sleeping and smoking crack and drinking vodka exclusively throughout that entire time.
Potential jurors were asked questions about people they knew dealing with substance abuse. Some were excused after saying they couldn't be impartial over their political views. One with a very negative view of the Biden family, and another saying that after the Trump trial in New York, he believed prosecutors charged cases based on politics. Another dismissed because he played squash with Beau Biden.
I've made mistakes in my life and wasted opportunities and privileges I was afforded. For that, I'm responsible.
Hunter was expected to resolve his gun charges as part of a plea deal, but that fell apart last year.
Hunter owned an unloaded gun for 11 days. There will never have been a charge like this brought in the United States.
As he fights 2 criminal cases, he has also taken a more aggressive strategy towards dealing with Republican-led investigations on Capitol Hill.
Hunter Biden should be arrested right here, right now, and go straight to jail.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me, Hunter. Apparently you're afraid of my words.
His second criminal trial on tax charges is scheduled to begin in September in Los Angeles.
Well, a much quieter evening across West Texas and southeast New Mexico as the radar is clear. Looks like it's going to remain hot. We'll talk about that coming up next.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, taking a look at that satellite and radar view, usually very active. It has been over the past week. Not the case tonight. Things bubbled up across northeastern portions of Mexico. It's about as close as they got to West Texas. Everything else was over towards the Dallas-Fort Worth area where they did pick up some severe weather. You can see the blow-off in the thunderstorms there. The clouds moving off to the east there in this west to east flow in the upper levels. There's another trough back across the western U.S. That usually means trouble for us, but it looks like it's going to stay further north as this ridge of high pressure to our south is going to keep us hot and dry here. It looks like for the rest of the week. Not expecting anything in the way of thunderstorms. We'll have to always watch the lower Trans-Pecos, but again, with this type of setup with the dry line to the east, we're cut off from Gulf moisture, so nothing really develops. Look at that little outflow boundary kicking off those storms now, moving into the Mississippi Delta, back into northern portions of Louisiana. And this produced some severe weather just east of the Dallas-Fort Worth area over towards Tyler, Longview, Texarkana area. That's moving off to the south and southeast. This dry line's not going to move a lot tonight, so it's going to stay in place, keep us cut off from Gulf moisture. We're going to be on the hot side of everything for tomorrow, so more triple-digit heat in the forecast. High temperatures today across the state. Again, we're seeing things up to 103 in the Presidio area, 100 again out at the Midland International Air and Spaceport. 115 was the hot spot in the state. Rio Grande Village once again in the lower elevations. Big Bend National Park. Again, that dry line not really moving too much, and then we'll see the wind kick in towards the morning hours. It's going to be a dry west wind. There'll be a few clouds, but overall, though, we are going to be looking at pretty quiet weather conditions, just hot tomorrow. And again, staying that way coming up on Wednesday, as we're not expecting anything in the way of thunderstorms in our forecast, just more heat than anything else. This tries to develop a couple of showers down in the Big Bend area. We'll see. Nothing too organized or no big storms as expected. The rest of tonight, here's what we're looking at, seeing temperatures into the upper 60s overnight tonight. So again, very mild on the overnight low. And then tomorrow, look at that heat, 100 plus, many locations except the mountain areas over towards Van Horn. And we're expecting those temperatures 115 plus down in the lower elevations, Big Bend National Park. Once again, as we're going to see temperatures stay at or a little bit above 100 degrees for the rest of the week. Really don't pick up too much in the way of thunderstorm activity until maybe as we get in towards Saturday and especially on Sunday into the mountain areas.
Time now for CBS7 First Alert Sports.
There is a new local football league for kids of different ages. The season is supposed to start in a few days and will be playing a variety of teams throughout West Texas. CBS7's Jensen Young caught up with them and has more on this new league. Jensen?
High school football is still a couple of months away, but that does not mean football has to stop for the summer. The West Texas Teen Football League was started by mother and daughter Becky Dorr and Sarah Couch. Couch's son is homeschooled and aged out of youth football leagues. She wanted an opportunity for him and other homeschooled children to continue playing football.
I'm glad I have another chance to play youth football with more of my friends instead of playing for a school, because we're all in different schools really, so I don't really get to play with them. So I'm very glad that my mom has made a league for us that we could play in all together.
The season starts on June 8th and there are 11 teams across 2 divisions. In the 12 to 13-year-old division, there are the Shields, Broncos, Odessa Eagles, Chiefs, Titans, and Longhorns. In the 14 to 15-year-old division, there are the Longhorns, Broncos, Titans, Chiefs, and Bomb City.
It popped into my head, start this football league, get these kids something to do during the summer. It keeps the teens that are out of school, you know, on a routine schedule, 5 days a week, 4 days practices, 1 game day, keeps them out of trouble, keeps them a structured environment, and my kids are getting to play football still.
We got an overwhelming response. We weren't ready for that, I don't think. We were hoping 4 teams in each division, and I think the community and people all like the fact that there's summer football going on.
It's not just West Texas responding to the Summer League. The Bomb City team is from Amarillo, and teams from other cities, including in New Mexico, have already expressed interest in participating next summer.
Most of the time, summer is a lot of just baseball, so now that we got this Summer League going along, a lot more kids are going to be more active during the summer. When they get back to junior high ball, they'll be ready to go.
And now the kids can continue playing the game they love and meeting new friends along the way.
I've been playing since I was little. It's just fun. Gets me out of problems, keeps me to myself, and helps me meet new people.
Football's been my dream since I was like 4. I played it when I was little, and it just helps me take my anger issues out, and I just have fun with my teammates in there.
Games in both divisions will be played right here at Reyes Mashburn in Nelmus Park starting this Saturday, June 8th. For CBS7 First Alert Sports, I'm Jensen Young.
Well, we're talking weather, and it looks like it's going to be a hot one here over the next few days. 102 tomorrow.
Oh.
And then, Jay,
a cool down, 99.
Big cool front coming in, okay, 99 degrees there. Then back into triple digit, looks like on Thursday. Tomorrow's going to be the hottest day of the week across the area, and we're keeping showers, thunder showers, out of the forecast. May reintroduce them a little bit later on in the week, especially this weekend into the mountain areas. But overall, it looks like it's the start of meteorological summer already. That started June 1st. So we're already into the summer season when it comes to the weather. And it looks like we're getting a jump start on the triple digits. Usually June, one of the hotter months, when we get all the records. The last week of June is when we've set all the all-time records. So it's that time of year.
It's that time of year. It sure is. Well, thanks for joining us here for CBS 7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW. We'll see you at 10.